Yeah, we've just started in January. We've had 2 meetings. We've been very welcomed and encouraged, so that we appreciate that. Um, so the purpose of the group is to improve decision making and care for animals and people through evidence generation, support comparative medicine, zoonotic and environmental disease analysis, and analysis of the human-animal bond on health and the quality of life is what our main purpose is. Next slide, please. So, since we're new, our main objective is to make sure we hold monthly meetings and facilitate the exchange of ideas. We've had some good participation from the veterinary teaching hospitals, plus some other members that have joined us and given us some good ideas. Next slide, please. And so, our second objective is to propose solutions to support the use of animal health data for research in veterinary and human medicine. We've begun analyzing the OHDSI components, CDM, the vocabulary, and the software tools as they relate to animal health data. And we want to document the modifications that are necessary to successfully ETL animal data to include the methods, develop some guidelines, experiences, and other artifacts that support successful ETL of animal data. Our goal is to make sure that any other teaching hospitals or so anyone that has animal records that want to get involved would have some sort of resource to go to and not have to reinvent the wheel. Um, so our key results in the first quarter is to identify the current users of veterinary user of OMOP CDM, which we started. Support the update of veterinary extension to SNOMED CT and Athena, which is also in progress too. Um, and then begin the review of current usage of the OMOP CDM at the veterinary teaching hospitals, especially looking at the data dictionaries at institution. Um, each institution is doing it a little bit different, so we want to harmonize that between the groups. In the second quarter, we want to continue this review of the existing work of the data dictionary and the current use of the CDM at the veterinary teaching hospitals so we can identify the difficulties encountered and ongoing needs and begin a consensus development of a prototype for the modifications or extension needed to use OMOP CDM and animal records. Next slide, please. And by the third quarter, we want to start developing some formal documentation of those recommended modifications or extensions um, for presentation to the OHDSI Common Data Model Work Group for review and guidance. And so the next slide, please. And so by the end of the year, we hope to finalize that documentation for presentation and review and initiate the development of a list of software potentially useful for ETL, cohort identification, and data quality assessment of animal records, and begin to identify any modifications that might be needed to use the software. So we've tried to set some reasonable and accomplishable goals in the first year so we don't overextend ourselves and get overwhelmed. And again, appreciate the support and encouragement that everyone's given us and look forward to having a good report for next year.